Hello there, welcome back to another episode of Arcade with Alvin. Today I'll be making the Gourmet Meat Stew from one of my personal favorite games and probably one of yours, Breath of the Wild. I have in front of me a nice big slab of raw gourmet meat, the highest quality of meat you can get in the game, which is obtained by taking down some water buffalo, which is exactly what I did. Definitely didn't buy this for a lot of rupees from that traveling merchant. I'm gonna go ahead and season this nice USDA prime ribeye with salt and pepper all over before we sear it. I also have here 2 raw bird thighs, or chicken thighs. Definitely did not get these from accidentally shooting my ancient arrows at pigeons because I wanted to see what it would do. I'm gonna go ahead and season these liberally as well, and I'll be right back. I'm gonna go forage for some vegetables for the stew. After an exploration and a stop by the merchants at the Dueling Peak stables, I've now returned with many ingredients. First up, 3 Endura carrots, which when consumed will increase my maximum stamina. They're actually just carrots. I'm just cutting them up into chunks. Next up, 2 large potatoes. They're just potatoes. Following that, we have 1 large onion, which after skinning and peeling, also going to chop into pretty large chunks here. Also walked through the Akala Highlands for a bit, so I found some Hyrule herbs, which include 2 bay leaves, 2 sprigs of thyme, and 1 to 2 sprigs of rosemary. Alright, I think it's time to go build a fire. Where did I put my fire arrows? Alright, the fire's going, so time to start cooking. Just like the game, throw in your stuff. I got 1 hearty durian in here, and I was going to toss in a couple of Tabantha wheat flour. Yep, okay. It's not working. Looks like I'm going to probably have to cook the normal way. First, I'm splitting open this hearty durian. If you're unfamiliar with this fruit, it has a spiked outside and a very gas leak smelling inside when cut open. So please do not bring this to a professional corporate workplace. My mom brought it to her water quality lab once and they had to evacuate because they thought something was about to explode. This durian looks a little suspicious, not as fresh as I'm usually used to, as it should be a nice bright yellow, so I'm just gonna use a little bit of this. After scooping a couple of fruit lobes out of their durian pockets, I'm just cutting them up into smaller, more manageable pieces. And even though it hurts my steak-loving heart a little bit, I'm gonna cut and chop up this beautiful ribeye into smaller, manageable pieces for the stew, because that's probably something Link would do in order to make this cook faster. Our fire is still going pretty hot, so I'm gonna place a pot down to cook. Ow. I'm gonna start by adding 1 stick of goat butter, along with 4 ounces of Tabantha wheat, or flour, and stirring this with the fat trimmings from our gourmet meat until it becomes a roux that looks like the color of peanut butter. But once the roux looks good and thick, I'm gonna add about 80 ounces of homemade beef stock, and stir pretty constantly to make sure that there's as little lumps as possible. When adding liquid to a really hot roux, it's important to stir constantly, but add a little bit of the liquid at a time. If you add too much, you're not gonna allow the clumps of flour to bump up against each other and break down. So add it slow, let it thicken, and then add more. Remember how I said I was gonna get a nice sear on the meat before stewing it? Yeah, I forgot, so we're just gonna throw that directly into the stew. But in my defense, I don't think Link's the kind of guy to sear meat before cooking it, because that just takes too much time. He's got a lot of shrines to clear out there. After giving the meat a little bit of time in the hot tub, I'm gonna add in all the vegetables, our carrots, our potatoes, and our onions, followed by 3 garlic cloves and our Hyrule herbs. Stirring to make sure that everybody in there is having a good time, there's no fighting, and I'm gonna cover this and let this cook ideally on a low simmer with a low flame, which could take about 2 hours or so, which is great, because I started a lot of side quests while I was out exploring, and I should probably clear out some of those. Be right back. Alright, I am back. Taking down that Lionel was pretty hard, so I'm glad adding this hearty durian right at the end is going to give me some extra hearts. I'm going to finish this stew with 8 ounces of whole milk as well for extra richness. And after about 5 to 10 minutes, just until the durian just starts to soften a little bit more, the stew is pretty much done. So I'm going to take this off the flame carefully and plate up, because not only am I hungry, I probably have no hearts right now after that Lionel battle. I like a lot of stuff in my stew. Ideally an 80-20 ratio of chunks to stew in my stew. Carefully taking 1 whole chicken leg for myself right on top and 2 large chunks of the braised gourmet meat. This is a single player game. I am going to eat what I want. And just to finish, a little bit of finely chopped Hyrule herb, but in this case, it's parsley. And I present to you our version of the hearty gourmet meat stew from Breath of the Wild. And maybe it's because I'm outside, maybe it's because it's a nice day, and the fact that we cooked this for a couple of hours over an open flame, but this tastes really good. I'm not even kidding. This is seriously good. There's so much flavor from every single ingredient we put in there. The meat's tender, the vegetables are tender, the stew itself has such a nice flavor, and the durian itself is quite pleasant, custardy, soft, and slightly sweet. Oh, I almost forgot about these hardy truffles that I found while exploring. For some reason, you could just find hardy truffles everywhere in the Breath of the Wild. I kind of wish real life was like that. Was this splurge for game accuracy worth it? Honestly, I don't taste them at all. The stew is super strong in flavor that kind of covers up the mild flavors of the truffles. But everything else is awesome. Eating a lot of this stew, yeah, that's a lot of hearts. Probably could go take down Ganon now if I didn't use those ancient arrows on those pigeons. God dang it. Anybody know where my master sword went?